Hey, this is Amy with Flower Moxie, and I'm going to be building a Cascade Bouquet in a Euro foam bouquet holder. So this is what it looks like. They come in square, round. I feel the shape doesn't make a difference, so I went with the round. Has a really nice handle, and it has a lot of surface area. And the best part is that you can set it into like a heavy-duty vase while you're building it. So it's not like the normal standard Cascade one that's tilted. That's really hard to work with. And so I'm gonna be working with like several eucalyptuses, Quicksand roses, and like mauve. This is chocolate lisianthus, but it more looks mauve. Cream spray roses, chocolate Queen Anne's lace, and I may be putting some of this leather leaf that I've sprayed out. So I use Design Master, it's a fresh floral spray, and this is blush. And I just wanted to take the opportunity to show you, this is navy on baby blue eucalyptus, and this is maroon, or you can use burgundy, and this is on Israeli ruscus. So never be afraid to paint things to get the color story that you're wanting. So to me, it's not any different than like false eyelashes, extensions, lipstick. I think it's totally okay to paint things. Okay, so here's the scoop with the Euro holder. I love it, it's my absolute favorite. I feel like you really need to make it the morning of if you can. The thing about it is it's not a lot of foam. That's probably like, an inch worth of foam. And so it doesn't hold a lot of moisture. So I've made it the day before, and the next day it looked okay, but to me I felt the flowers were struggling a bit. So if you want to make it the night before, you can just keep it in a really cold area. And then the next day, maybe like use your kitchen sink sprayer to like reach between the blooms and get this rehydrated. Now, when you're making a cascade, you will always, and I mean always, need to glue in your stems. This is floral adhesive by OASIS. It's probably my favorite. It's real runny and watery. You can put some on a little plate, or you can just individually put glue on each stem before inserting it. I'll show you how to do it, but because I'm just building this for a video, I'm not gonna glue every single piece just so we can make the video go a little bit faster. One other thing to note is in regards to the OASIS Euro holder, when you drive things in, you don't want to go all the way down to this base because this is a plastic base. So if you're driving that stem in and you hit this, then it's not in that wet foam, so it's not getting hydrated. So less is more. And if you can build it the morning of, that's the best. Okay, let's get started. When I start cascades, I always like to set what my length and my margins will be. And so we're gonna be using eucalyptus. This is silver dollar. And if I was doing this for a wedding, I'd absolutely be gluing things. A lot of times with foam work, super runny. I don't love working with this stuff, but I think it's just kind of a necessary evil. So because I'm driving it to the side, I'm going to drive it further just because I want it further up in that foam. And so we're just gonna create this base, a little bit of glue. You can also put it in a plate and dip it. I just find it like sets up pretty quickly and gets all gummy. The older your bottle is, the easier it is to work with. When it's like a fresh tube, it comes out quickly, it comes out real watery. So I'm holding this and I'm looking in the mirror and I'm thinking of her holding it. And we'll show you a full length when I get this built. It's kind of hard just with the table. But you see the direction I'm going with it. You can also use this like we did in this style shoot. In this photo right here from this summer. I use the same bouquet holder. I use the same bouquet holder and I built it long ways. So it doesn't have to be a cascade. She can hold it like this and it can sprawl from side to side. You can get all wild with it. Why do I sound so lame when I say that? So I'm layering in this baby blue. On eucalyptus in general, like I spend so much time just taking things apart. So the seeded eucalyptus, it was like I got some with like really small seeds and then some with really large ones. So I don't mind the inconsistency just because it gives variation, but we try to show you on the website just the different ways it can come, but throughout the year it can just really vary the size. Okay, so I feel like I have the Cascade about where I want it. I'll probably adjust it at the end, but this is a good start. So now I'm gonna work on the rest of it. And I'll be taking those greens off to the side. I'll green it out like you've seen me do with many arrangements. And then we'll start filling in our blooms. Okay, so I've greened it out and this is where we're at this point. And I put in some of that fern, the leather leaf that I spray painted blush. I don't know how I feel about it just yet, but we're just experimenting so we can do what we want. Okay, so I've greened it out. I have the shape that I want, and now I'm going to start adding my blooms. And this is the important part where we remember that we don't want to drive these in super far. Remember to add glue if you're gonna do it for a wedding. That's pretty much where I feel like you for sure always need glue, is in the Cascade bouquets. Like on an arch, I don't ever really have any issues with the flowers falling off. But with a bouquet, walking around, bumping into people, hugging people, laying it down, that's where I find that you really need it. We're just keeping it light. With this shoot today, I wanted to do this because I had some brides coming up that are doing Cascade Bouquet, so I wanted them to have this. I didn't go in with a clear vision, just kind of using the things that we have. Sometimes it can come in looking a lot more toffee than this, but most of the time it feels to me kind of more mauvish in the burgundy arena. At the very end, I like to pull the flowers down into the cascade, but right now I'm just focusing on the top portion of it. And I have some thistle. And if you've seen in other videos, it's always good to get this product, cut the lower pieces off first if you're gonna do like foam work or like composts or things like that. If it's cold where you're located, or if it's the winter and you can make this, like as a florist, if you have a cooler, you can make this the day before and put it in the cooler. But just out in the elements, I don't feel like it offers enough water. Let's say your wedding's in the winter or it's just cold where you're located. If you put it in the garage where it wasn't freezing, you could easily make it the day before. It's just always like a timing of when to make it and making sure it will look its best. Okay, I'm liking it. I can't say that I hate the spray painted leather leaf either. It might not be for everybody, but I feel like it's a little bit unique, and if it's tucked in slightly down, it's not so front page. If you're going for mauve, Design Master has this spray called Heatherish, and I think it's like the perfect shade of mauve, because mauve essentially is like this like dusty mixture of lavender and pink, or like a blush. With videos, I always feel like I'm kind of building backwards and trying to do it quickly, but I'm just alternating what I'm grabbing. Like, I don't want to get like just a huge concentration of quicksand roses without something in between to break up those big blooms, because if you have all of these guys in concentration, it's very, I just kind of feel like has a lot of visual weight to it. So at this point, I feel like I need to go stand in front of the mirror with it. This is the first video you're watching of ours with bridal bouquets. I really have to look at them in the mirror to see that different perspective. Kind of that bride walking down the aisle, I want to see what that's going to look like. Because it's Cascade, it's going to be held differently. So this is where we're at right now. Some people like to spray this out with like glue adhesive and glue leaves all to it and then wire this wrapping, maybe put ribbon around it. Personally, I don't like to do it. I don't want my brides to like hold something that has leaves on it, because leaves will really like, can green your fingers, tear up, it's real fibrous. So I just like to keep it simple. It's easier for her to hold, and she's gonna hold it like this. So I'm gonna take a look at it. We're gonna do our final tweaks and finish up. Okay, so we've wrapped up, and at the very end, I always have to have someone hold it for me, because I need to just look at it from straight on and add to. So I just had to tweak a few things. And so just to recap, we have thistle, all the eucalyptuses, quicksand roses, and these are chocolate lisianthus. I also have some dusty pink astrantia in there. So I feel like with the quicksands and the lisianthus, I feel like it took it in like a pretty moody turn. I like these like little bits of blush leather leaf, so it may not be for everybody. And just so you can kind of see, obviously I built it in a cascade way, but with this Euro holder, you can build both sides out, and it can just be like huge, large, and in charge. And yeah, if you're going to do a cascade, I would recommend getting on Amazon and getting a bottle of this Crowning Glory. It's like it feels like you're just misting it with water, but it's actually wax based, and it just locks in the moisture and helps the flowers last longer. And that's always handy to have if you're doing a lot of foam work. So remember, it's a Euro holder by OASIS. You can find it online, and you will definitely need some floral adhesive. Just to recap, try to make it the morning of. This took me probably 20 minutes. Give yourself about 30 to 40 minutes to build it. Have all of your favorite flowers set aside. I probably used like 1/3 bunch of all my eucalyptuses, so probably a total of 1 bunch, but I had 3 different types. I used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 quicksand, and probably a half bunch of the brown lisianthus, and maybe just a 1/4 bunch of the thistle. So with this foam, it can really go a far way. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments below, and thank you so much for joining us.